A few days ago, something happened that most people completely missed. A Chinese AI company released a model called GLM-5.2. Normally, that wouldn't be a big deal. Every week, there's a new AI model claiming to be faster, smarter, or cheaper. But this one is different. Because for years, the United States has been trying to slow China's AI progress by restricting access to advanced chips. The assumption was simple: no NVIDIA chips, no frontier AI. But GLM 5.2 might have just shattered that assumption. And what's even crazier is that many developers are now comparing it directly against Claude, GPT 5.5, and Gemini. So what exactly is GLM 5.2 and why are so many people suddenly paying attention? Let's find out. To understand why this matters, we need a little context. Modern AI models require massive amounts of computing power, and for a long time, NVIDIA basically controlled the hardware that powered the AI revolution. OpenAI used it. Everyone used it. That's why many experts believed that limiting access to these chips would slow down competitors. This was especially true for major global markets like China. But instead of stopping innovation, it created pressure. And pressure often creates alternatives. Chinese companies started building their own AI infrastructure, their own chips. They began developing their own comprehensive software stacks. And one company decided to prove it could compete at the highest level. That company is Z.AI, and their latest model, GLM 5.2, is absolutely massive. We're talking about a 744 billion parameter mixture of experts model. But here's the feature that grabbed everyone's attention: a 1 million token context window. That's not a small upgrade, that's a completely different way of working. Imagine giving an AI your entire codebase, thousands of pages of documentation, weeks and weeks of intense engineering discussions, and having it understand everything at once. That's what GLM 5.2 is trying to do. But here's where things get really interesting. GLM 5.2 isn't just a bigger chatbot. It's built using something called a mixture of experts architecture. Think of it like a company with hundreds of specialists. Instead of asking every employee to work on every task, the system only activates the experts that are actually needed. That's important because GLM 5.2 contains roughly 744 billion parameters. Yet for any single task, only a small fraction of the model is actively working. The result is a system that feels incredibly powerful without becoming impossibly expensive to run. And that's one of the reasons developers are paying attention. But here's the thing, most developers don't care how many parameters a model has. They care about one question: can it actually help me get work done? And that's where GLM 5.2 started getting attention. Developers began throwing real projects at it. Large repositories, bug fixing tasks, code refactoring, documentation analysis. And surprisingly, the model kept performing far better than many people expected. For the first time, an open model wasn't being treated like a backup option. It was being considered a serious daily driver. Now let's talk about the feature everyone keeps mentioning: the 1 million token context window. I know, this is just another marketing number. Imagine you're working on a project that's been growing for months. Documentation, source code, meeting notes, research papers. Normally, you'd have to keep feeding information into the AI piece by piece. But with a context window this large, GLM can understand far more information at once. That means less time explaining your project and more time actually building it. And for developers working on large code bases, that's a huge deal.